Delighted to say that John is now right in the studio. Is two-time world champion Josh Warrington, big Leeds fan, of course. Josh, morning.
Morning, Josh.
How are you doing?
You all right?
Gents, yeah, very well, thank you.
By the way, we're talking about the heavyweight division, saying what's happening. There's not a lot happening, but it looks now we can get our teeth into this one. This is an interesting one, isn't it, Josh? AJ loses this, it's over. Surely it's over.
I'm not too sure, you know. I'm not too sure. Maybe his limelight might die down for a few months, but I don't think it's done.
No?
I feel like it can... Say if he did lose and he come back against someone like Deontay Wilder and beat Wilder, all of a sudden...
He's not going to beat Wilder, is he?
Well, it's heavyweight boxing. You know, sometimes this is the thing. You know, football teams can be on a good run of form, and they've one loss, and next week they get a chance to make up for it. But for the boxing, as soon as you take a loss, that's it. You're done.
Yeah.
But then you come back, you beat somebody else, and you're back on form again. So
Joyce got a chance, hasn't he, in the rematch?
Exactly. So that's a fine example. And it's going to be a tough fight. I do believe that the AJ White fight is going to be a lot closer than potentially the first one.
Would you say White's improved more, whereas AJ maybe on the slide, or not? Is that being harsh on AJ?
I don't think AJ's on the slide. I feel like he'll want to prove something, not only to himself, but to everyone else, to show that he has still got it, to show that he is still that aggressive animal that he can be. But that's going to play well into Dillian, because Dillian loves to be in trenches and have a fight.
Yeah.
As you get older as a boxer,
yes.
do you, like at football, your football brain gets better, but you can't run as fast.
Yeah.
So as a boxer, the experience as you're getting older, do you lose a bit of zip, but you gain a bit of streetwise?
Probably that's a fine example of putting it. I certainly, comparing myself, just wanted to throw non-stop, throw constant punches, but you do learn to just tone it down a little bit, take another little look. But even though you're not doing as much quantity, the quality is more aggressive. So it is a fine balance, and it'll be more like say street smart. Will AJ be looking to box a bit more? Certainly after his fights against Usyk. That will have improved his IQ inside the ring.
Yeah, Usyk's smart boxer.
Unbelievable, really good.
So what about Tyson then? We want to see Tyson back in, don't we? Because he's so awkward, but he's so big. He came in here one day, Josh. I couldn't believe how big he is.
Oh, he's huge, isn't he? He's the size of a man, and what he does, you don't see from any other heavyweight. I mean, 6'7", and the way that he walks around it, sometimes fights at 18, 19 stone, but he can move like he can.
Yeah.
And he's elusive and goes from tricky angles, so many heavyweights can't really prepare for that kind of style, and obviously he's a character as well, so he's always entertaining.
He's gone a bit quiet, hasn't he? Is it me, or has he just gone a bit...
No, he's training hard.
Is he back in training?
It just seems to be a bit frustrating with boxing at this moment in time. He's like getting the fights over the line, and boxing fans want it there and then. They want these big fights, because otherwise things move on, and before you know it, YouTubers are taking over and influential boxers.
Yeah.
So for boxing to stay relevant and stay healthy, these big fights have got to be made. And if you do take an L, come back, get straight back in the ring and get fighting again. So
on to the sport we love. We love boxing, but Leeds, your team.
Yes.
Are you worried about the forthcoming season, or you think no, we'll bounce straight back?
Hey, now we've got a Farke coming there. I'm extremely positive. Just last week you're thinking, well, we're playing Man United in a few weeks in a pre-season, and with no manager, takeovers still not gone through. What's going on here? Who's staying, who's going? You don't know the situation with the players, and all of a sudden, he's come in, and there's certainly a good buzz of energy around Leeds. So
he done well at Norwich, didn't he?
So, he did very well.
He got them up.
Yeah, and listen, this takeover goes through well, and they get the right backing in there. And we've got a lot of players who've been there before. We've been in the Championship and know how to get out of it. Plus, all the young lads coming back. So,
have you lost many players? Because I always think when you get relegated, and Josh, I think if you can keep that nucleus of the squad and you get a good start, you can come straight back.
The vultures circled, don't they? Look at Maddison. They just vultured. The vultures are going round Leicester. They're going, we'll have him, and we'll have him, and we'll have him.
Tillemans,
yeah. There's one or two what'll be they'll be making way. But at the same time, you don't want players who aren't going to play for the shirt. You know, you want players who, right, I'm invested now into the team. I'm invested into, we're going down, I'm going to help it get back up. Not, I've got to think about the contract and I want to be still playing in Premier League. So those who go, them, fair play to them.
You've got to be careful of as well. There's Premier League players going into the Championship. They don't realise what's coming their way. Saturday, Tuesday. Teams trying not to, like, you go to Millwall away on a Tuesday night. If you're not ready for it, they turn you over. So Premier League players sometimes don't expect it because they're not playing as many games.
It's heavy, and heavy schedule. A lot more. Well, considering if you're not in the Champions League, then a lot more games. And but I think that's why we'll do all right, because we've got that experience. Some of them older players who've been there before and done it. But we've also got a batch of young players. When we got into the Premier League, a lot of our younger lads went off into loan spells at Championship, and now they've all come back.
Yeah.
So that could work really well for us.
So Josh, two questions. Who wins, Wilder? Not Wilder, excuse me. AJ, does AJ get his career back on track, or will White beat him? And will Leeds get back up?
Leeds are definitely going to get back up. Come on, always have the faith. But the former question, it's a good question. It comes down to Lance first, really. You know, it's not the end of the road, but I'm maybe favouring towards Dillian on this one.
And me. But to be fair to AJ, he's taking this on. You know what I mean? He's taking this on. This is a tricky fight for him.
It is. But I think AJ understands about the sport as well. He wants to make sure that boxing stays alive, and he only wants to be in big fights. It's no good him coming back against these fighters who are outside the top 15. It needs to be relevant with fighters who are on top and all.
Can you imagine he knocks out White and works him over and knocks him out? It'd be like, where's Fury?
Yeah.
Surely.
Oh, and
that's what the public want.
That is the biggest fight in the world, isn't it? Yeah. It's the biggest fight in the world, and all the attention comes to the UK, which would be absolutely fantastic.
TalkSPORT Breakfast with Alan Brazil. Thursday and Friday morning, 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the TalkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. TalkSPORT.